Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our final plenary of the day and the final plenary of National Conference 2019. It's been an exciting and inspirational weekend, and let me tell you, we're going to go out on a high note. We're so grateful to Goodman Gable Gould Adjusters International for sponsoring our program. Thank you for your generosity. And now for our program. So, if you've ever heard Russell Robinson speak, you know the Jewish National Fund doesn't do projects. We don't have one-offs. What we have is a strategic vision. I think I'll let Russell take it from here. Thank you.
Imagine. The year is 1901 and Jewish National Fund sets out to create a homeland for the Jewish people everywhere, the land of Israel. It begins with a vision, forging a path in history for a better life for the people then, and 120 years later for you and me. This vision is why we do what we do today. This is what guided us and has guided us for 120 years. It paves the way towards our future now. Now, we don't do it alone. We do it with you, our partners. Together we make it happen. Everything we do, every project, every initiative, every campaign is in support of our vision. Population growth in the north and the south of Israel, and connecting the next generation of world Jewry to the land and to the people of Israel. We plant trees, build parks, source water solutions, preserve heritage sites, build medical centers, deploy fire trucks, and improve the lives of people with special needs. We create cultural connections, support new immigrants, boost tourism, promote Zionist education and leadership, and fund agriculture and culinary research. And we run an American semester abroad program, the Alexander Muss High School in Israel. We do all these things while connecting to our past and looking towards our future, our brighter future. Now, we are unique. We're strategic and we're fiscally responsible and we're visionary. We've been that way since 1901 and we'll continue as we grow and develop, learn and lead, teach and research, because that's what we do. We're Jewish National Fund and we make it happen. Now our journey continues. We are working today to impact the generations to come and to the children yet unborn. To be successful, we have to understand how we got here in our 120-year history that has guided us. So friends, join me on a trip through time. Our journey could begin when God said to Abraham, "Lech lecha, go forward to new land." But we'll start a little more recent. Let's take a look at Jewish National Fund's vision and action. Our first stop, Be'er Sheva, 1955.
I didn't come to Israel with much. I am Menachem Perlmutter, born in Slovakia. At the age of 16, I was taken to Auschwitz with 10,000 Jews from my city. My brother and I We're the only 2 out of 12 in my family to survive the gas chambers. We had nothing to go back to, so we headed home to Israel, a 3,000-year journey in a little over a year. After being arrested and imprisoned several times, I finally arrived in 1947. Just in my 20s, I was mobilized into the Israeli army and fought in the War of Independence. Yes, I fought for our Jewish nation to be born, our Jewish nation, for you and me and for the 6 million. After the war, I was trained as a surveyor and established my home here in Be'er Sheva. I never imagined living here. Jobs were scarce, but I was lucky, and I became the chief surveyor for the settlement department of the Negev. The Negev is a romantic place, a real pioneering world of its own, a place so bare and dry that it's almost hard to imagine that from nothing could come everything. Be'er Sheva today is a small town of 8,000 people. Life isn't the easiest here, but boy, it sure is beautiful. This is the first traffic light in the town of Be'er Sheva. I remember when they put it up and everybody ran to the street to watch. When the light started to work and change colors, everyone applauded. Such excitement, such tumult. We don't have a lot. There's only one pipeline for water, only one generator for electricity at night, and oh yes, one traffic light. And yet, I can't help but feel like we have it all. We have land, love, and perseverance. Mark my words, one day Be'er Sheva will be Israel's greatest city. One day from these desert sands will come great innovations that we will share with the world. Our Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, has a dream that the Jewish people's resilience and passion for life will make Israel's desert bloom. Here in Be'er Sheva, we are that community of Jewish people, resilient, patient, nurturing. We are the future of Israel. We are the future of the Jewish people. The first Zionists, the first pioneers, did prove that everything is possible, but it wasn't easy. No, it certainly wasn't easy. In September 1939, World War II broke out. The extermination of 6 million Jews across Europe began, and the need for a Jewish homeland became ever more urgent. Meanwhile, in Palestine, the British issued prohibitions against establishing new communities. We were not to be deterred at all. So despite the British, we initiated Operation Tower and Stockade. Under the cover of darkness and with the constant threat of discovery, 10 cities were built on land owned by the Jewish National Fund in the Negev desert. Of course, this took a great deal of money. Despite the hardships of war, funds were raised from Jews around the world, likely your parents or even your grandparents. It was our forefather Abraham who first set foot on this land. The Jewish people followed in his footsteps. That was the first movement to the Negev. From Holocaust to rebirth, man and land rebuild each other. This, the Negev, is the future of Israel. Imagine that from the ashes of Auschwitz, I have the privilege to be part of it, and so do you. Imagine.
Here we are, a once sleepy town with little to offer but a vision, has blossomed into a dynamic city of diversity, technology, education, and culture. Imagine what Menachem Perlmutter would say if he could see Be'er Sheva today. Imagine, Be'er Sheva, once dry and dusty, has become the rightful capital of the Negev. After Jewish National Fund raised money and got people involved, today Be'er Sheva is teeming with life. JNF has developed tourism infrastructure, averted Israel's water catastrophe, and assisted in absorbing a wave of newcomers from the former Soviet Union and Ethiopia. I learned about all of this because I too moved to Be'er Sheva. My name is Tamar, and I grew up in Tel Aviv. And if you asked me 10 years ago, I would have never guessed that I would be living in Be'er Sheva. I had nothing to do with this city. I think I switched buses here once during basic training in the Army. But yeah, that was the extent of my knowledge. 8 years ago, I lived in Tel Aviv in the hopes of finding my place as a young professional. I got accepted into the MBA program in social leadership at Ben Gurion University in Be'er Sheva. I was excited and sad. At the same time, Be'er Sheva is so far. I started traveling here from Tel Aviv by train 3 to 4 times a week. I was convinced I would get my MBA and find a job in Tel Aviv, never looking back at Be'er Sheva. It was a long and hot commute. I just wanted those days over. Slowly but surely, though, I fell in love. I fell in love with this city, my city. My perception of Be'er Sheva, of a town in the desert with nothing but a university, was so wrong. Be'er Sheva has so much more. It's an amazing canvas on which young adults are creating and innovating, and a place where social initiatives meet community initiatives, where small businesses are sprouting everywhere. An entrepreneurship and full of energy. They have a theater, an opera house, a shopping mall, and great people. So after I graduated, I decided to stay here. It's crazy. 8 years ago, I so badly wanted to find my place in Tel Aviv. And by the end of my MBA program, I couldn't fathom living anywhere else but Be'er Sheva. I got a job through the Jewish National Fund Louder Employment Center, which is working hard at promoting employment in Be'er Sheva and the surrounding areas. I would have never known about any of these possibilities and options without them. 10 years ago, only about 2% of the student population stayed in Be'er Sheva after they graduated. Today, 30% of the students who graduate stay and live here because they're able to find jobs, thanks to the programs at the Louder Center and the influx of high-tech companies. Job opportunities aren't just fixing the employment problem. They are allowing Be'er Sheva to grow and attract thousands of people to work and live there. They raise their families. It means that everybody is finding a place here to grow and thrive. Yes, 20 years ago, Be'er Sheva was 190,000 people and losing 3% of the population a year. Today, it is 248,000 people and the fastest growing city in Israel, my city and your city. You are supporting a new generation of Israeli pioneers seeking to fulfill the dreams of Menachem Perlmutter and David Ben-Gurion to make the desert bloom. You and me, we are walking in the footsteps of Abraham. Today, there is a buzz. It's exciting leaders for tomorrow. A buzz that is bringing community events, boutique breweries, festivals, and family businesses. You recognized the potential in Be'er Sheva, and you acted, and you invested. Without you, Be'er Sheva would not be growing like it is today. It would not be the metropolis of the Negev. Everywhere I go in Be'er Sheva, I see the hand of Jewish National Fund. Your hand. You can catch me most Saturdays at the Be'er Sheva River Park. It's a 1,300-acre park with grass and playgrounds and promenades and bike paths and the sports complex and 2 historical sites. It is 3 times the size of Central Park, and it was built on what used to be a garbage dump. I attend concerts at the amphitheater you built, and I'm excited to go boating soon on the 28-acre lake that you also built. In Be'er Sheva, Jewish National Fund's vision is all around us. You are changing the everyday lives of people in Be'er Sheva. Come see for yourself. See what a group of your young activists are doing to change the Negev, thanks to your support. Come taste some local beer. Visit a business that teaches those with special needs to become photographers. Talk to an Israeli student, and yes, one from America, who made Aliyah with Nefesh B'Nefesh, and is now at the Be'er Sheva University and are now building their lives here. I'm not exactly sure where Abraham walked, but you can walk the streets of your city, my city, Be'er Sheva. Come be a part of that vision of the future of Israel, the real Israel. Thanks, guys.
Now it's time to set your imaginations free and imagine the Be'er Sheva of the future, 20, 30, 40 years from now. The growth of the southern region will have an enormous impact on Israel's national economy and its security, thanks to Jewish National Fund's Blueprint Negev campaign. Think about the new opportunities that will have come from the IDF moving its headquarters from Tel Aviv to Be'er Sheva, bringing thousands of jobs and opportunities to the area. Think about what that means for the communities around the city. The need for homes, schools, recreation, think of the jobs. There's now a new light rail that will modernize and connect the city, and the 40,000 new housing units that will make Be'er Sheva a city of 500,000 people. Imagine. A city of 500,000 people. This is now a place that continues to diversify in culture, expand in entrepreneurship, encourage engagement, and break down the stigma of living in the desert, opening eyes to a world of creation, innovation, technology, and community. And the JNF USA Israel and Education and Technology Campus that we are building today in the footsteps of Abraham and Menachem Perlmutter and those who have dreamed before us will have an unimaginable effect on the city, on the country, and indeed the world. Bringing Jews of all backgrounds and ages together, from Israel, from the US, around the diaspora, old and young, religious and secular, right and left, Be'er Sheva will become home to great conversations of Israel's future, Judaism's future, and Zionism's future. We're not building a campus. We're building a bridge to the Jewish world of tomorrow, where students will develop the knowledge, skills, and character they need to become the Jewish leaders of tomorrow. Board presidents, school presidents, CEOs, philanthropists, political leaders in Israel and here in the US. We're helping them prepare for a bright future Jewish world. A future that's bright thanks to the Jewish National Fund and you. Together, we are bringing life to a world that our forebears could only dream about. Imagine if Abraham could see us now. Imagine if Herzl could see us now. Imagine if David Ben-Gurion could see us now. Be'er Sheva is the community of the future. Take a look.
Imagine a conversation about Israel, global Jewry, the leaders of today, of tomorrow, with people from Dimona, Denver, Kiryat Shimona, and Oklahoma. For the first time in Jewish history, Jewish National Fund is creating a conversation that will build bridges across generations, denominations, politics, and oceans. Direct from Be'er Sheva, in the footsteps of Abraham. The Jewish National Fund Israel Education and Technology Campus, a state-of-the-art village that will inspire Jewish leaders of all ages and backgrounds from all across the globe. A campus surrounded by sports fields, a 1,300-acre park, a 28-acre lake, an amphitheater, a 26-screen cinematheque, and Israel's largest mall. Be'er Sheva, a rich mosaic of people. Home to Jewish National Fund's Be'er Sheva River Park, JNF's Louder Employment Center, Ben-Gurion University, and high-tech companies. An ideal location to make Jewish National Fund's vision come true. The campus will include an internship, innovation, and technology center, the first Zionist adult education center in the world, the southern campus of our semester abroad high school in Israel, top quality conference center facilities, study areas, a food court, restaurants, a synagogue, beautifully landscaped outdoor space, classrooms, and comfortable, modern overnight accommodations for short and long-term stays. The Internship, Innovation, and Technology Center is critical to helping college graduates stand out from the crowd in this ever-changing, fast-paced world. Jewish National Fund will use its vast connections with Fortune 500 companies to help young people obtain internships. The Zionist Adult Education Center will provide a space for organizations and individuals interested in learning and exploring the beauty and greatness of the Jewish world. Alexander Muss High School in Israel is growing to 5,000 students annually. Expanding it to Be'er Sheva will help our youth learn, live, and love Israel, understand her challenges, grow as young Jewish leaders, and prepare them for life on college campuses and beyond. Join Jewish National Fund as we host the greatest conversation the global Jewish community ever had. Join us as we embark on a journey to build the first campus of its kind, the JNF Israel Education and Technology Campus, a campus that says, we believe in the future of global Jewry. In 1901, there was Theodore Herzl. In 1948, there was David Ben-Gurion. Today, there is you.
Hey, I'm down here, south of Be'er Sheva. My name is Ron Bernstein. It's February 1977. I'm part of a group of young people from our 20s, mostly from America, idealistic, filled with dreams of creating a kibbutz, the first of its kind. A community living in the ideals of Reform Judaism, offering an alternative for Israeli and Jewish people everywhere to come and experience. We are the founding members of Kibbutz Yael, located about 40 miles north of Eilat in what's known as the southern Arava Desert Valley. We are young pioneers from the Reform movement, all here for the same reason, to fulfill David Ben-Gurion's dream of blooming the Negev desert, to bring life to our land, the land of the Jewish people, Israel. Our kibbutz is set up in a semicircular row of houses, if you can call it that, on the rocky ground across the highway from where the fields are located in the hard soil along the Jordanian border. Everything is dry and barren around us. Yes, it gets hot, very hot, like 100 degrees in the shade hot. Still, we see this place as an oasis. A true feeling of bliss washes over you when you're out here, working out here, living out here, growing out here, schwitzing out here. No one believes we will ever grow anything. Well, not no one. The Jewish National Fund believes. We are determined to succeed. We work whenever we are needed. We take turns serving in the dining room, cleaning the kitchen, gardening, and nurturing the land. We are managing everything ourselves. We're excited to wake up at the break of dawn. We work long hours every day. We relax together at night, sing songs, have a beer. We are home. Kibbutz Yael is building a unique future, one that offers room and diversity from the opportunities to spread out and grow. A Jewish future filled with life and joy. We owe tremendous thanks and gratitude to the Jewish National Fund and to you. 1 year before we moved here in 1976, JNF helped clear the land for houses, building, and agricultural fields. They shared in our vision and supported us by giving us what we needed to become independent and grow. You helped our dreams come true. If you drove past Kibbutz Allon before 1976, all you saw was vast, empty expanse of sand, rock mountains, and nothing. Maybe the occasional acacia tree. It takes vision to see what the future can bring to Kibbutz Yael and the Arava Valley. Most importantly, it takes partners like you. With your help, support, and partnership, young people like us have been able to live our dreams. Now, to most Americans, the Jewish National Fund is known for planting trees, which the organization has been planting all over our country since 1901. Yet to us, JNF is so much more. Jewish National Fund means access to land, water, community development, partners. JNF means an investment in us. I know one day our hard work and your investment will make the Arava Valley the most exciting and prosperous region in Israel. Thank you for believing.
Today, I stand before you to say, our vision, your vision, is a reality. Since the opening of Kibbutz Yael in 1977, you have continued to invest in the development of the Arava Valley. Thank you. Your Blueprint Negev campaign that began 18 years ago to strategically bring 500,000 new residents to the Negev is working. Look at our land. Despite receiving only 2 inches of rain a year, concentrated on all of 2 days, thanks to JNF reservoirs and innovative R&D discoveries that save water, 60% of Israel's fresh vegetable exports come from here, the Arava Valley. 10% of Israel's cut flower exports come from here. And thanks to houses being built with the support of JNF, hundreds of people have moved here in the past 5 years. My husband's family came here in 1981. As farmers, my husband and I escaped the stress of our tiny apartment and always-on-the-go life in Tel Aviv to start a family in a real home that is close to nature and agriculture. Your belief and your strategic plan allowed us to take a leap of faith and move here. My name is Tania Pons, Allon, and I'm proud to live here in the Arava Valley. I'm living here with my husband, my 5-year-old son, and 1.5-year-old daughter. Our farm joined with our parents' farm, and we live in the same piece of land. Our main crop is the Ramiro pepper, the sweetest pepper you'll ever taste, trust me. We also have dates, grapes, mangoes, and watermelons. We export our dates internationally, while our grapes, mangoes, and watermelons are sold to the local market. Did I mention it only rains 2 inches a year here, all in 48 hours? Life in the Arava can be challenging, yet beautiful. From stargazing with my husband on warm summer nights, to bonfires with our family on weekends, to just enjoying the everyday serenity, I wouldn't trade this life for anything. And more Israelis are choosing the Arava Valley. We are 14,312 residents strong, with a goal to double that in the next 10 years. With your partnership, we are creating jobs and building infrastructure to attract the next residents. Oh, and we're having babies. 300 were born here over the past 2 years alone, yay! We had to build new kindergartens and a daycare center. And you helped us, not with the babies, with the kindergartens. Who's living the Zionist dream? We are, and you, our partners. My husband and I are now building a new home thanks to JNF's Housing Development Fund. This fund helps communities all across Israel's north and south grow. JNF's housing fund made a loan to our local council so they could work on the infrastructure immediately, build sewage lines, electricity, pave roads, and mark lots, facilitating the development of homes and encouraging families to come. Without JNF, my family wouldn't have been able to make our dream a reality. We can't wait to move in and invite you all. We'll dine on peppers, melons, and cherry tomatoes. So what's life really like here? Before 2014, medical services were almost impossible to receive in the Arava. Treating patients out of a building the size of a hole in the wall, one doctor was available to see residents twice a week, maybe. And let me tell you, that's not enough. One time, my son became ill in the middle of the night, and the closest hospital was more than an hour and a half away, drive away. Well, there's nothing more frightening than feeling helpless because you cannot get your child medical attention right away. It's a deal breaker for young families. They won't come. Well, you came and met with us, heard our needs, and now, thanks to the Central Arava Medical Center you built, I no longer feel helpless. Since its opening a couple of years ago, my family and others in the region sleep well at night, knowing there's a clinic close by. It has completely changed our lives. It has been a why people are moving here. Who here loves to swim? 2 people. It's one of my favorite things to do with my family, but as we live in the Arava, we don't get the chance too often. Whoop, thank you. Soon, though, there will be an indoor swimming complex and recreational sports facility with a half-size Olympic-sized pool right here that will cater to local residents, help attract new residents, and bring swimming competitions and business development to the region. You did that. You are making it happen. It's not just a pool. It will boost quality of life, bring jobs, and encourage people to move here. See where I'm going with all this? Nothing by itself means anything. Together, they form a strategic vision, yours and ours. Together, we are making it happen. The Arava Valley is also a place where scientists and researchers are collaborating with local farmers, like my husband, to increase agricultural sustainability, profitability, and stability. Thanks to JNF-funded R&D, farmers in the Arava are gaining access to state-of-the-art innovations, which is making them more competitive in the world marketplace. We're also educating the agricultural and environmental leaders of tomorrow at 2 world-renowned places. At the Arava Institute, one of the top environmental schools in the world, students from Israel, the Palestinian territories, Jordan, and around the world work cooperatively to solve the pressing environmental challenges of our time. At the Arava International Center for Agriculture Training, what we call ACAT, college students from Africa and Southeast Asia come to Israel to learn firsthand about the equipment and techniques that Israeli farmers have developed to make it possible to grow lush, plentiful, and profitable crops under harsh desert conditions. They go home with 22 college credits. Over the years, nearly 30,000 students from ACAT were educated from all over the world, many of which do not have diplomatic relations with Israel. These students go home as ambassadors to Israel. Wow, right? Yes, these 2 schools, exactly, amazing. These 2 schools do a lot to make Israel and the world a better place. Yet, you know why JNF is involved? Because these schools bring jobs to the valley, and jobs mean people. People mean life. So, as you can see, we have a lot going on, right? I invite you all to come and experience the magic of our valley, of your work. Come taste the most delicious tomatoes and dates you'll ever been into. Explore our mountains, stay in our delightful B&Bs and hotels. Trust me, the magic will work on you as well. Who knows, maybe we'll be neighbors one day.
Shalom. Ha! I bet you didn't expect to hear Hebrew from a Kenyan. My name is Kenneth. I am a graduate of your amazing partner, ICAT. I am 27 years old and talking to you from Nandi County, Kenya, where I was raised. Sadly, I couldn't be with you today, but we'll hopefully meet up with you next year at your conference in Israel. I just want to say thank you, Jewish National Fund. Because of you, I spent 2 unbelievable years in Israel in the Arava, studying at ICAT and working in a farming kibbutz. I went with the goal of becoming a job creator, and I'm happy to report that today, that's what I've become. In Israel, I learned about water management and agricultural sustainability. I came home with 2 other ICAT graduates and started a business, Kenarava. We are an agribusiness consulting company that offers solutions to the ever-changing environmental challenges of today's food industry. We are putting food on tables of our countrymen and others. So thank you, JNF. You are helping feed the world. Shalom.
Shalom, I'm Tali Tzur, and I'm here to take you to the future of the Arava Valley. Jewish National Fund is investing in the Arava Valley because we see its potential. Not only for Israel and the Israelis, but for the people from around the world. We know how to produce plentiful and delicious fruits and vegetables on arid land because we've done it. Because ACAT is so successful, JNF just completed a new campus building to accommodate 2,500 students every year. There are students from all over Africa and Southeast Asia, many of whom are hesitant to travel to Israel, but once there, they find themselves immersed into the culture, working together to find the best solutions. They become the best version of themselves, and they go back home as pioneers of the future and ambassadors of Israel. There are special people. There's Ruti from Kenya, a young woman in her 20s who left her 1-year-old baby back home with her mother so that she could come and learn and go back to home to put food on table and build a better life for her family. There's Lin from Cambodia, whose father, a poor farmer, drummed into him day after day that he could do better for himself, his family, his community, and his country. He had goals for his son and pushed him to attend ACAT. Lin is determined to meet those goals and to make a better life for them all. Great stories, huh? I could go on with more stories on students from Vietnam, Laos, the Philippines, Micronesia, Ethiopia, Thailand, Myanmar, Nepal, East Timor, Indonesia, Kenya, South Sudan, Jordan, Rwanda, Uganda, Nigeria, and even China. They all come to the Arava. They all come to the Arava and change their life forever. But it doesn't stop here. Here's a riddle. What do Arizona, the Arava Valley, and the Arava Valley have in common? Okay, I'll start you off. Blazing sun, intense heat, water scarcity, environmental issues that cross borders. These are serious challenges. Something else they have in common is academic and practical expertise in how to meet these challenges, and an immediate desire to use that expertise to help make a difference in people's lives all over the world. My friends, I'm thrilled to share with you that Jewish National Fund, the University of Arizona, and the Arava Valley have formed the JNF Joint Institute for Global Food, Water, and Energy Security to develop and adapt technologies that will aid communities in arid and hyper-arid environments with focus on Africa. By leveraging the existing facilities of the University of Arizona and the Arava region, and by utilizing the Arava Institute students and the more than 2,500 ACAT students every year, the Joint Institute will promote and develop applied research and student-led training programs. Over the next few years, the Joint Institute will establish at least 3 multidisciplinary programs in Africa and or other areas to offer expertise, technology transfer, applied research, knowledge, training, ongoing guidance, and education. All by Jewish National Fund. This, my friends, is the future of the world, where sustainability meets the globalization and the interconnectivity of tomorrow so that more people can benefit from Israel and Jewish National Fund. This is the future of the Arava. Over 40 years ago, no one could have imagined that the Arava would be so successful, that it would be an innovation hub for agricultural education for people from around the world. On second thought, maybe you did. Jewish National Fund is always acting today for tomorrow's generations. Yalla, chevre, I have to go.
Hey, over here, time to focus on me, 17% of Israel. Here, we are in Kiryat Shmona, the northernmost city in Israel, about a mile from the border with Lebanon and Syria. The year is 1980. Kiryat Shmona is a beautiful place full of forests and clean air. Still, we have our troubles. Being on Israel's northern border, we encounter security problems, and our development is decades behind anywhere else in Israel. The Galilee has been a victim to countless attacks. The Maalot massacre of our children in a kindergarten, and the Kiryat Shmona massacre, both in 1974, that killed and injured hundreds. Children at my school live in constant fear. Parents and grandparents struggle to provide a safe space for their families because the unknown is always at the other side of the border. Life here is not easy. People ask my family why we came here. Well, we didn't. We were brought here and not by choice. My family came in 1950 on Operation Magic Carpet that brought 49,000 Yemenite Jews to Israel. In 5 years, 723,000 Yemenite, Moroccan, Iraqi, Libyan, and Tunisian Jews were brought to Israel, doubling the population in 5 years. They didn't know what to do with us at all. We were brought here and then forgotten about, away from the country's center and its advancements. 30 years later, we are a community of spirited but poor people. People who fight daily to have a normal life here in Israel. A life without violence, without fear, with opportunities for all. While our parents remained hopeful, as CEO of the Kiryat Shmona area look at the future with fear and doubt. How fast can we get out of here is the usual question. Not even to Tel Aviv. Let's leave the Israel. As for me, I'm taking the advantage of every opportunity available for a teenager here. I'm a member of my high school student council. I volunteer with Magen David Adom, riding the one ambulance we have. And I'm working on the community center on the weekends. There are good hiking spots nearby, and I spend Saturdays exploring the wildlife and go to the only park in the area after school to play guitar, make coffee, and enjoy the outdoors. If you look for it, here in the Galilee, there is always something fun to do. You just have to look hard. Jewish National Fund, I see your signs everywhere. I know that you have not forgotten about us. You planted 100 million trees throughout the Galilee, many by my family members. Still, we are waiting. We are waiting for attention, for investment, for hope. The average age of our city council members is well past 60. I'm not sure they have the energy to move us forward fast enough. I have my own dreams of one day studying at the university. I want to study government and come back, make a difference here in Kiryat Shmona. I dream for the day every kid in the Galilee will have the opportunities to succeed. I believe that in partnership with Jewish National Fund, this can happen. I want to make that vision a reality. So, remember my name, Ofir Yehezkeli, because I promise you that one day I will be known for making a difference here in Kiryat Shmona.
Hey, I'm back. Ofir Yehezkeli here. I told you I'd be back. Since you last saw me, I completed my Army services and graduated with a degree in government from the IDC in Herzliya, and even lived in the madness of the country's center for 10 years. 5 years ago, I decided to follow my dream of growing Kiryat Shmona and changing the narrative of the Eastern Galilee from one of negligence to one of success. I came back because I wanted to show the country all that the North had to offer. My mother, she couldn't understand why. She'd say, "What are you doing?" She said, "Stay in Herzliya." Ma, I said, "No." I ran for city council of Kiryat Shmona, and today I am proud to say I am deputy mayor of Kiryat Shmona. Yes. Together with you and our partners, people who remembered us and care about us, who were dreaming and thinking big. Together, we are changing the narrative here in the Galilee. Today, in the entire Galilee, we are 1.3 million people strong on 17% of the land of Israel. And with the expertise and the partnership of the Jewish National Fund, we hope to double that population again in the next 40 years to 3 million people. We have a plan. As we develop the Galilee together, we have a simple message to Israelis from the center of Israel and to newcomers from all over the world moving to Israel. Go north. Spend a day winding through the picturesque roads and visit the local artisans. Sip on the wines, dine on the food, and enjoy the hospitality of the diverse cultures that make up northern Israel's population. Take a look at the beautiful new homes being built. I bet you will feel the pull of life here and decide to move. In the north, it's all about economic development as a driver for success. We are working hand in hand with the Jewish National Fund to increase economic growth, become a destination, a place for tourists and Israelis alike, and for those who are in search of steady employment and a new place to call home. A place where minimum wage is no longer the average salary. A place we can offer our residents high-quality jobs to go together with a high quality of life. We are developing an ecosystem of food and agricultural technology. As the world searches for sustainable food innovation, we know we can lead. We are primed to be Israel's food hub. Up here, we are engaging with our youth, something that could not have been imagined or dreamed about 40 years ago. We are working with communities in Ma'alot to engage young adults in enhancing our social services, thanks to our partner Macomb. We are building communities in Kiryat Shmona designed for young professionals. Green Horizons, Jewish National Fund's youth movement, is promoting self-confidence, independence, social responsibility through agricultural initiatives and volunteering. And it's working. Today, the City Council of Kiryat Shmona has 7 people under the age of 40. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? No one, and I mean no one, would have believed you 30 years ago if you told them that young adults would be leading Kiryat Shmona. This even exceeds my expectations. If my teenage self could see me now building a better life for the future of the Galilee, for my people of Israel, for my 3 children, for my wife, for myself, we are on our way. Today, when I look out at the greater Kiryat Shmona area, I know that thanks to Jewish National Fund, we are making my vision, a vision to change the narrative to a thriving Galilee, a reality for generations to come.
Good afternoon. It's the end of the session. Can we all say go north together? Go north. Thank you. Beteavon, hearty appetite. That will be apparently the new greeting in the Galilee, coming up pretty soon. A region rich in culture, diversity, and food, innovation, also known as the food basket of Israel. For those of you, the 3 that don't know me, my name is Chef Lior Sercarz. Some would call me the Spice King. Thank you. Born and raised in Kibbutz Dan, in the Upper Eastern Galilee, a few miles from Kiryat Shmona, surrounded by food that to me was mostly looking like brown mush. My relationship with food took on a great importance, and from there I just fell in love with food and spices. Hot, cool, colorful, and aromatic spices transform, delight, and help create memories that follow you throughout your life. So, what am I doing here? It's a good question. I'm combining my love for food with my love for Israel. And who better to do that with the Jewish National Fund, right? Thank you. Together and with the people of the Galil or Galilee, however you want to call it, we are transforming the Galilee region through food. As the food basket of Israel and the melting pot of so many cultures, tradition, from immigrant societies, we have a great opportunity, you and I, coupled with great pioneering spirit. With Kiryat Shmona as the hub, we will establish the Upper Eastern Galilee as the food capital of the world. The impact will be phenomenal. I have no doubt about it. This will be a destination for millions of tourists, bring the population growth of 50,000 new people over the next 10 years, and cultivate new conversation around food sustainability, a conversation that will be heard around the world. This food hub will be the center of food businesses. That means technology, innovation, business, development, cooking, restaurant, agriculture, research and development, hospitality, hotel industry, small businesses, and so much more. A new culinary school, the Galilee Culinary Institute, will be created. Now I know what you're saying, another cooking school, we've done that, we've seen that, not the case. This is so much more. GCI, as we like to call it, the Marvin campus, will bring the entire greater Kiryat Shmona region to life through food, agriculture, employment, education, and tourism. As the first of its kind accredited multi-year cooking school in the Middle East, the Institute will become a center for professional excellence.
through the influence of Ethiopians, Russians, Yemenite, Moroccan, Middle Eastern, and American cultures, the area will bring a special culinary flair not available anywhere else in the world, to training, learning, to research, to dining, that will attract young couples and new population. Students will have access to an incredible array of fresh ingredients that can only be found year-round in this unique agriculture environment of the Galilee. They will graduate as some of the finest chefs, restaurateurs, or food innovators from the most talented people in the business. An agriculture farming experience will allow students to produce their own ingredients side by side with local farmers. The school would exceed global standards in a culinary education. The Galilee will become a food phenomenon for people all over the world. By employing local residents at the school, integrating students into the local community, build housing for students, inviting visiting professors, staff, together with the help of you and I, with the help of Jewish National Fund. We will greatly enhance the vibrancy of the greater Kiryat Shmona area. There's more. Food technology is revolutionizing the way we eat, we live, focusing on healthier, cheaper, and more environmentally friendly ways to innovate in the food industry. The Jewish National Fund Beta Share Food Innovation Center on the Greenbound Family Campus will be a research incubator, small business hub, an open workspace for the food and agriculture technology industries. This center will be home to research development, food security, agri-tech, and new, healthier products to help feed the world. We are revolutionizing the way we do food. We are paving the way of the future. Jewish National Fund's involvement will act as a platform for local entrepreneurs with early-stage startups, supporting their growth and nurturing their innovation. The development of this new center will motivate investments in the region and create new employment opportunities. There's that vision of work again. Jewish National Fund is doing all this as a means to a massive renaissance to the north of Israel, pioneering the way for a brighter future, a food-filled, sustainable future for the land and the people of Israel and around the world. We and I invite you to join us on this great journey. Thank you.
Well, that was quite a journey. Just a small fraction of the journey of the Jewish people, a small fraction of the story of Jewish National Fund. You heard from Menachem Perlmutter, who left his father's and grandfather's home in Eastern Europe, and all he possessed was the numbers on his arm. Yet he carried with him the determination, history of the Jewish people. You heard from Ron Bernstein, who left New York in the 1970s and went down to the Arava, to a barren desert land, and made it a home. Some thought he and his friends were a little crazy. Yet on the very land that Abraham and Moses had walked on, thousands of years later, we now have the most delicious melons and peppers. Tania told you of her family that now export food from a land which only gets 2 inches of rain a year in 48 hours. You are part of that Jewish National Fund journey. Then you heard Ophir's story. His family came in the 1950s, helping to double the population of Israel. They came from Iraq and North Africa, Yemen, elsewhere, everywhere, nothing except small packs on their backs. They were thrown out of the countries to come home to the land of Israel, the home of the Jewish nation. 87 different dialects were spoken, many working at Keren Kayemet Israel, packing up trucks with little saplings, planting those trees throughout the land of Israel just to get a paycheck. Think about it. You know, Ophir's family, they were planting those trees that your grandfather was purchasing as a way of helping to develop and connect to the land of Israel. Now here in this audience, we have Naftali Aklum. Naftali, stand up. Naftali came from Ethiopia. His brother is featured in the film The Red Sea Diving Resort, depicting the story of thousands of our people crossing thousands of miles in the desert for the opportunity for a place to call home. Now we got Marina Furman in the audience. Marina, where are you? Stand up. Marina was a refusnik in the former Soviet Union. She and her husband refused to disassociate themselves from the land of Israel, even when the KGB threatened and took their child away at birth. That child is named Aliyah. She is now a member of the JNFuture in Philadelphia. And then there's Allie Robinson. Here in the audience, who 4 years ago was involved in JNFuture, left a great job, left her family to go home through Nefesh B'Nefesh to Israel. Every time we make, every step we make, every time we wake up and we take that breath in the morning, we are on a journey that began long before us, a journey that began when Abraham was told to go forward by God to a new land. We have never stopped connecting to our ancestral soil and making the journey as a people together. Now we're given the opportunity to see, to feel, to understand, to listen, to learn, and taste a little more of our journey every day. This is not about a people there and a people here. We are one. We are a people standing together stronger today than ever before. We are one. We are a people that are on a journey and connecting to the land of Israel every day, forever. From America to Israel, from high schools to elementary schools to colleges, everywhere, we are one. Imagine coming home. We are coming home.
What a beautiful way to bring it all together. Full circle, and to remind us of why we support this phenomenal organization. I'm Toby Mower, and this is my husband, Mort. We're so very proud to sit on JNF's National Board and be part of JNF's World Chairman's Council and King Solomon's Society, and I wear two more actually, than my husband. Ribbon, I meant.
Thank you. Thank you, Russell, and everyone who participated in this beautiful presentation about the strategic vision of Jewish National Fund and the actions that have already been taken and those that are further required to accomplish our goals. Now, let me tell you, every vision needs a leader. And there is no better leader than you, Russell. Thank you for all you do for JNF and for our homeland. We look forward to seeing everyone back here at 6:30 for the culmination of our conference. Please get ready for a delicious meal and fantastic entertainment. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us this afternoon. We do have a major turnover in this room, so we respectfully ask that you all exit the room, take your conversations out into the foyer, and we can't wait to see you back here shortly. Thank you.